There is a specific kind of silence that comes after a catastrophe. It's not peace, it's the sound of $1 billion dying. Sam Bankman-Fried sits in a cell at the Metropolitan Detention Center. No more private jets, no more cheering crowds, just concrete, steel, and the screams of other inmates. But inside his head, the noise is deafening. How does a math genius become a monster? How does a boy who wanted to cure diseases end up poisoning the entire financial system? This isn't a story about numbers, this is a story about a cult. About betrayal, about a lie so big it threatened to eat the world alive. Lock your doors, check your wallets, welcome to the autopsy. Psychopaths don't look like monsters, they look like us. Sometimes they look even better than us. Sam crafted the perfect costume, the messy hair, the cargo shorts, the Toyota Corolla. It was all a performance, a calculated camouflage designed to disarm you. He weaponized a concept called effective altruism. He told the world, "I will make billions to save humanity." It was a brilliant lie because when you claim to be a saint, nobody checks your pockets. He wasn't saving humanity, he was feeding a god complex that was growing hungrier by the day. But the mask didn't stop at the clothes, it was a family business. Consider this, Sam's parents weren't ordinary people. They were Joseph Bankman and Barbara Fried, respected law professors at Stanford University, experts in ethics and tax law. They were supposed to be the moral compass. Instead, they became the beneficiaries. Court documents allege that millions of dollars of stolen customer funds were funneled directly to them. A $16 million luxury villa in the Bahamas was signed over to his parents. While investors were losing their homes, the professors were checking into paradise. It turns out, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. The rot went all the way to the roots. The heavyweights of Wall Street, Sequoia, BlackRock, they pride themselves on seeing everything. But Sam blinded them. He played on their greed. He knew that if he promised them the moon, they wouldn't notice he was stealing the ground beneath their feet. Isolation does strange things to the human mind. In the Bahamas, Sam built his fortress. A $40 million penthouse isolated from reality. Inside, 10 people lived in a closed loop. They worked together, they slept together, they broke the law together. Reports suggest a toxic atmosphere fueled by stimulants and sleepless nights. It wasn't a boardroom, it was a psychological pressure cooker. Imagine trusting your life savings to a group of 20-somethings who were allegedly treating the global economy like a video game, while high on their own invincibility. But it wasn't just incompetence, it was gluttony. While they claimed to be frugal altruists, they were burning cash at a rate that would make a Roman emperor blush. Internal records revealed a culture of absolute waste. They spent lavishly on private catering and luxury hotels. But the most insane detail? They reportedly chartered private jets just to fly Amazon packages from Miami to the Bahamas because they didn't want to wait for standard shipping. They treated client money like Monopoly paper, throwing it into the fire just to watch it burn, confident that the supply would never end. And in the center of this web was Caroline Ellison, Sam's ex-lover, the CEO of Alameda. Her private diaries reveal a woman living in terror. She wrote about the dread of waking up. She knew the walls were closing in. She knew they were digging a grave with investors' money, but she couldn't leave. Sam held the psychological keys. In the digital world, there is no blood, but there is still violence, financial violence. Sam ordered his engineers to build a backdoor in the system, a secret passage in the code that only Alameda could use. Think about the cruelty of this. A nurse deposits her savings, a father invests for his child's college. They see the numbers on the screen, they feel safe, but it was a hallucination. Sam was siphoning those funds out the back door, billions at a time, to pay for gambling debts. But the back door was just one weapon. They invented something even more sinister. The phantom stocks. FTX claimed to sell tokenized stocks. They told you that you were buying shares of Apple, Tesla, or Amazon, but investigators found something terrifying. In many cases, the shares didn't exist. They were selling digital ghosts. They took your real money and gave you pixels on a screen that were backed by absolutely nothing. It wasn't just trading, it was counterfeiting. They were printing fake financial assets and selling them to the world as gold. If everyone had tried to cash out their Tesla shares at once, they would have found nothing but air. As the crimes grew, so did the paranoia. Sam didn't just hide money, he hid words. He became obsessed with secrecy. He ordered everyone to use the encrypted app Signal for all communications. But that wasn't enough. He mandated a strict policy, auto-delete after 1 week. He wanted to erase history. He told his inner circle, if it's not written down, it didn't happen. They were running a multi-billion-dollar company like a drug cartel, erasing their footprints in real time, terrified that one day, someone would find a single message that would bring the whole house down. He wasn't just gambling, he was buying immunity. Court documents allege they tried to bribe Chinese officials with $40 million to unlock frozen accounts. He pumped millions into Washington, D.C., smiling at cameras while his hands were dirty with the stolen dreams of millions. November 2022. The ghost in the machine finally showed itself. When the balance sheet leaked, the illusion shattered. It wasn't a slow decline, it was a violent crash. Imagine the panic inside that penthouse, the realization that the game is over. Employees, innocent people who believed in the vision, watched their life savings disappear along with their jobs. They were victims too. Meanwhile, Sam was frantically calling billionaires, begging for a lifeline, but the smell of death was already on him. Even the vultures stayed away. Usually when a CEO destroys a company, they hire a lawyer and stay silent. Sam did the opposite. He went on a media tour of delusion. In the weeks following the collapse, he appeared on TV interviews, shaking, pale, and looking into the camera to say, "I'm sorry, I messed up." He thought he could talk his way out of federal crimes. But body language experts saw something else. They saw duper's delight, a suppressed smile that liars get when they think they are fooling their audience. He truly believed he was smarter than the FBI, smarter than the public, and smarter than the law. It was the final act of a narcissist who couldn't accept that he was no longer the hero of the story. But the mask slipped completely in the DMs. Shortly after the collapse, thinking he could still manipulate the narrative, Sam exchanged messages with a reporter. The reporter asked him about his ethics, about his effective altruism. Sam replied, "It's just a dumb game we woke Westerners play." Let that sink in. The philanthropy, the veganism, the sleeping on beanbags. He admitted it was all just a game, a marketing strategy to fool the public. He didn't care about saving the world. He was laughing at everyone who believed he did. And while he was laughing, real people were crying. It is easy to look at the billions and forget the pennies. But the victims weren't just hedge funds. In countries like Nigeria, Argentina, and Turkey, places where local currencies were crashing, people turned to FTX as a life raft. They put their life savings into crypto to survive inflation. When Sam clicked delete on those accounts, he didn't just erase numbers. He erased survival. He erased the savings of a student in Lagos. He erased the retirement of a grandmother in Buenos Aires. While he was eating well-prepared meals in his penthouse, families across the world were staring at empty screens, wondering how they would eat the next day. This wasn't a victimless crime. It was global theft. $6 billion. That's how much users tried to withdraw in 3 days. But the vault was empty. The money was gone, vaporized into luxury real estate and bad bets. But then, something even stranger happened. The night FTX declared bankruptcy, while the world was watching the news, the blockchain lit up. Someone was moving the remaining funds. In the chaos of the collapse, a mysterious hacker drained over $400 million from the exchange. Who was it? A sophisticated cybercriminal who saw an opportunity? Or was it an inside job? Someone with the keys, grabbing the last bags of cash before the ship went down. To this day, the identity of the thief remains one of the darkest mysteries of the collapse. The body was still warm, and someone was already stealing the jewelry. The trial was a family tragedy. His friends, his lovers, they all took the stand. They pointed the finger at the emperor. Caroline Ellison wept as she detailed the crimes, destroying the man she once loved to save herself. Sam was sentenced to 25 years, but the penthouse is gone. Now he lives in MDC Brooklyn, a jail notorious for its poor conditions. There is no vegan menu, there are no video games. Reports say the man who traded billions is now trading pouches of mackerel fish to survive in prison. The king of crypto has been reduced to bartering for fish in a concrete box. It is a pathetic end to a glorious lie. How does a math genius become a monster? How does a boy who wanted to cure diseases end up poisoning the entire financial system? But ask yourself this, where is the money? Not all of it was recovered. Some say crypto is the future. Others say it's a casino where the house always cheats. Sam Bankman-Fried is behind bars, but the greed that created him, that is still out there, walking among us, wearing a new mask. Speaking of masks, years before Sam, there was a woman with a deep voice and a black turtleneck who promised to change the world with a single drop of blood. She fooled everyone, even the president. Her name was Elizabeth Holmes, and her story is even darker. Don't look away. Click here for the next autopsy.